This is a simple game, but there's nothing human about it. 50 strangers are suddenly locked inside a sealed chamber, and if they can't prove their value within 2 minutes, they could lose their lives at any moment. At first, no one knows how they got there or what's even going on. All they can see is a massive display on the floor, and beneath each person's feet, a glowing red circle. Step even slightly outside it, and a red alarm goes off. Try to touch someone else, and the alarm goes off again. 3 strikes, and that's it. Anyone who keeps breaking the rules is electrocuted on the spot and dragged away. On the floor, 2 rings of red triangle-shaped markers form a circle around them, all 50 pointing at a different person. And every 2 minutes, there's a vote. A wave of the hand makes the selection. A clenched fist locks it in. No one can see anyone else's choice, only their own. Whoever gets the most votes is immediately electrocuted. And if no one votes at all, the system picks someone at random. A room full of strangers, different ages, genders, skin colors, backgrounds, social status. So the question is, who deserves to die? And who deserves to live? A deadly game built to judge human nature is about to begin. After several people are killed in a row, the group slowly starts to understand the rules. That's when one young man steps up and tries to take control. If someone has to die no matter what, then they should start with the elderly. They don't have much time left anyway, so why not let them make the noble choice and leave survival to the young? The moment he says it, the room splits. Some agree. Others are horrified.
But I have just as much of a right to live as any of you.
You've lived your life, old man.
And just like that, the old man is voted to death. Once the first one is gone, the second and third come much easier. In this game, the older you are, the less your life is worth. After voting out several more people, a new problem starts to surface. How old is old enough to be considered old? The next person up is a woman in her early 50s. If they vote her to death, who comes after that? People in their 40s, their 30s? A lot of people start pushing back, because the truth is, most of the room is middle-aged. So in the very next round, the young man who had been calling the shots gets voted out himself. And just like that, the game falls into a deadlock again. Then the woman from earlier speaks up. Instead of arguing over who should die first, maybe they should start by figuring out what they all have in common, because that might explain why they were brought here in the first place. A woman with curly hair volunteers to go first. She starts rambling about her job, her age, her family, her hobbies, but none of it gets to the point. And when the 2 minutes are up, she's the one who dies. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. After that, nobody wants to be the one drawing attention. Once they move on to brief introductions, they realize something surprising. Quite a few of them already know each other. Some are married. Some are having affairs. Then a police officer recognizes the tattooed man, a criminal with a history of domestic abuse. Under constant pressure, the tattooed man finally admits to the things he's done. So now the question becomes, who should be next? This time, no one even has to say it out loud. They all make the same choice. Call it karma, call it justice. Either way, everyone agrees. And if none of the people left have a criminal record, then the next one to go should be whoever seems the most dangerous. Then a black man finally speaks up. Oh, so why not just say minorities should die first? And just like that, the moment the conversation turns to race, everyone suddenly becomes politically correct. Now all the anger shifts to the one they see as the racist, the police officer. Just one round ago, he was the one calling out criminals. Now, in the very next vote, he's the one who gets killed. But this kind of mutual destruction isn't going to solve anything. Then a soldier comes up with an idea. What if everyone ends up with the same number of votes? Maybe that could buy them more time. Since no one can vote for themselves, they go with his plan this round. Everyone votes for the person on their right. But then, something goes wrong. Did someone mess up? Or did someone do it on purpose? They decide to try again. And the deadly game that keeps exposing human nature goes on. 2 beams of light suddenly drop from above. A man with glasses and a pregnant woman are both selected at the same time. So if it's a tie, who dies? But just a few seconds later, the man with glasses is electrocuted. Just as everyone stands there completely confused, the man in black finally speaks up. He says he saw the man with glasses break the agreement and secretly vote for the pregnant woman, so at the very last second, he changed his own vote and sent the man with glasses to his death. But why would someone target the pregnant woman? The man in black lays out his theory. Since no one is allowed to vote for themselves, in the end only one person can walk out alive. And by common sense, the pregnant woman or the 10-year-old girl would be the most likely to survive, so if he quietly got rid of them first, he'd have a better chance of making it to the end. Some people agree. By any normal standard, a pregnant woman and a child should be protected before anyone else. But others push back. They argue that nothing about this place follows common sense, and that everyone deserves a chance to live. The two sides keep arguing but get nowhere. Then the countdown hits 0. A little girl and an elderly woman are selected at the same time. Another tie. In the end, the little girl survives, but that also means a lot of people wanted her dead first. The argument is still going when the timer runs out again. This time, 3 people are tied: the pregnant woman, the little girl, and a man. The man panics.
Kill them both! Fucking kill them!
Because in every single round, someone keeps voting for the pregnant woman and the little girl. But when the final moment comes, people still can't seem to fully go through with it. Several more people die, and still no one can come up with any real answer. So, in the end, the room falls silent. Then one man finally says it: what if someone volunteers? Everyone thinks he's insane, but then someone actually does. A 16-year-old boy steps forward. His reason is simple: he doesn't want to keep killing people. But just then, a black man standing behind him stops him. He can't just stand there and watch a kid offer himself up to die. So instead, he turns around. But one person's sacrifice only buys them 2 more minutes. And soon enough, everyone's eyes drift back to the boy. They keep pressuring him, saying he has to keep his word until the boy finally turns around too. After the boy dies, no one willingly steps forward again. Before long, the group sets its sights on a soldier. The message is obvious. As a soldier, he should be the one to die for everyone else. But he refuses. He says he already spent 2 years at war, and just made it home to be with his family again. He's not dying here. But in a room like this, who doesn't have someone to live for? Then an older woman speaks up. She says she doesn't. She recently lost her son, and ever since then she's been living in despair. So if this is how it ends, she's ready to go peacefully. Before she dies, the priest beside her tries to comfort her, telling her that God will let them see each other again. And with that, the woman calmly steps out of her circle. But the priest's words set the curly-haired man off. He insists that God doesn't exist, and that the priest is just lying to trick people into dying. The problem is, nearly half the people in the room are religious. After a few more rounds, there aren't many people left. Some of them start attacking others just to stay alive. The curly-haired man claims he once saw the attractive woman beside him on some kind of show, then says she's an adult film actress. It's obvious what he's trying to do. He wants to use her past to turn everyone against her. But in the end, the one who dies is him. By this point, one thing is becoming painfully clear. The more aggressively someone attacks other people, the more likely they are to be eliminated next. After several more rounds of voting, only 15 people remain. Some of them start turning their attention back to the little girl and the pregnant woman. If only one person can survive in the end, then one of them has to die eventually. So why not choose one of them now and vote her out early? After some discussion, a few people decide to target the little girl first. But that immediately splits the room into 2 sides. Some want the little girl gone, others want to protect her. The argument gets heated fast, and the votes become more deliberate. But after several rounds, something strange happens. The little girl is still alive, while several other people end up dead instead. Even the man who pushed the vote against her gets quietly eliminated. That's when the group finally realizes something is wrong. A man and a woman who claim to be married have been manipulating everything from behind the scenes. Under pressure, the man finally admits the truth. They aren't husband and wife at all. They've been secretly working together to play the game as a team, and everything they did was meant to turn the 2 sides against each other. But once the truth comes out, the man tries to blame the whole plan on the woman. It doesn't save him in the end. Both of them are voted out, one after the other. After several more countdowns, only 5 people are left in the room. Because the young man in black is on the side protecting the pregnant woman and the little girl, his side now has the numbers. So the long-haired man doesn't dare target the little girl anymore. Instead, he shifts his attention to the middle-aged man beside him, because from the very beginning, this man hasn't seemed to vote even once. He doesn't speak, he doesn't vote, and somehow he's survived all the way to the end. The long-haired man believes they should get rid of him first, but he's being far too naive. The young man in black joins forces with the pregnant woman and the little girl, and without hesitation they vote the long-haired man out. Even with only 4 people left, the silent middle-aged man still shows no reaction, no talking, no voting, nothing. Maybe this is his way of silently protesting whoever is behind the game. But whatever his reason, the game still doesn't end. So the young man in black has no choice but to vote him out too. With the middle-aged man dead, only 3 people remain. The young man in black says maybe only one person really can survive, and now there's no other way. One of them has to step out of her circle with him, and only then can they guarantee that one person lives. He leaves that choice to the pregnant woman and the little girl. After a brief silence, the little girl makes a brave decision.
I'll go.
For the baby, right? There's no more time. Do it!
But no one expects what happens next. The young man in black uses the girl's kindness to eliminate both of them. It turns out he had been pretending from the very beginning, and all the way to the end, he tricked everyone into dying. But even with him as the only person still standing, the game still doesn't seem to be over. As he angrily curses the game and demands to know what the point of all this is, a beam of light suddenly falls on him. At the same time, another beam lands on the dead pregnant woman. Only then does he realize the baby inside her is still alive. But a fetus can't vote, so without hesitation, the young man in black makes his choice. Then the scene cuts. When the young man wakes up, he's already outside, but above him, a massive spaceship hangs in the sky. Confused, he slowly gets to his feet. And that's when he realizes the entire Earth seems to be covered by ships just like it. After walking through a dark tunnel, he finally sees another group of survivors. Some are pregnant women, some are children. Which means the game they just played was probably a test. A test created by aliens. And that's where the story ends. So here's the question. If you were chosen to play this game, what would you do?